What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. You've got to see this to believe it. I know I say that every day. You have to see this to believe this. New York Post reports Manhattan DA to stop seeking prison sentences in slew of criminal cases. What is going on? Manhattan's new DA has ordered his prosecutors to stop seeking prison sentences for hordes of criminals and to downgrade felony charges in cases including armed robberies and drug dealing. This is according to a set of progressive policies made public on Tuesday, which is yesterday as of this recording. What does that mean? This is directly from the memo, and the district attorney's name is Alvin Bragg. Bragg's memo detailed this: armed robbers who use guns or other deadly weapons to stick up stores and other businesses will be prosecuted only for petty larceny, a misdemeanor, provided no victims were seriously injured and there's no genuine risk of physical harm to anyone. Armed robbery, a Class B felony, would typically, what it was before, be punishable by a maximum of 25 years in prison. Petty larceny, which is what it is now because of his interpretation, his choice, it would be up to 364 days in jail, about 1 year, and a $1,000 fine. Criminals talk about a year in jail like it's nothing. And it's like it's nothing. If an armed robber goes into a jewelry store with a gun, it will only be prosecuted as long as no one gets seriously hurt or there's no genuine risk of physical harm. So, for example, probably warning shots or something like that would be a general risk. Who knows? But as long as he goes in, or he or she goes in with the gun, and those two things don't happen, worst case is a misdemeanor. Robbers who use guns or other to stick up stores. Is that... It's hard to reconcile where we are. It's gotten really, really hard to reconcile where we are. That is in Manhattan. Bragg claimed these policy changes not only will, in and of themselves, make us safer, will also free up prosecutorial resources to focus on violent crime. Yeah, of course it will focus resources elsewhere because you're not going to be prosecuting these. I would like to hear the argument for how it makes us safer. The only argument that I can understand is the thief has incentive not to harm anyone, so it would be at worst case a year and a $1,000 fine. This comes on the heels of, I didn't clip this, and maybe I'll clip it later, of the IRS telling thieves that they have to claim their theft, the profit of their thefts on taxes. This all is coming together like a puzzle piece. Of course, the NYPD's like, what is going on? Serious concerns about the message these types of policies send to both police officers and criminals on the street. Police officers don't want to be sent out to enforce laws that the district attorneys won't prosecute. Of course not. Why would I put myself in harm's way to arrest someone when they'll be kicked out with a $1,000 fine? There's already too many people who believe crime is going up. Smash and grabs are already going up in many of these cities. There's already too many people that believe they can commit crimes, resist arrest, interfere with police officers, and face zero consequences. It will lead to more young lives lost to gang violence and innocent people being hurt. Another cop was upset, said this is outrageous. He was elected to enforce the law. I guess not. He was elected. The people have spoken. Now, what I will say is, I have to keep reiterating it. We can't share a country like this. That's fine. If you elected him, I'm not trying to override the will of the voters. I'm just saying that we are no longer in the same country. There's a line that you cross that obviously I'm never visiting New York under these terms ever. It's a different whole mentality, country, everything. During a news conference Tuesday, and the new mayor, Eric Adams, was asked for his reaction. He just gave a non-answer, like I haven't reviewed it. In the past, he said, I align with the view of Alvin Braggs. Meanwhile, in New York, a concealed carry permit to carry a gun is almost impossible to obtain. Now remember, these crooks who are doing stick-ups, they're not legally, in the most part, legally obtaining these weapons. So what does it take to get a legal carry permit in New York? One, you need proof that you regularly carry a significant amount of cash or jewelry as part of your business and can document it to the NYPD's satisfaction. Number two is a recent documented utmost serious threat that the NYPD deems credible. Third, you won't believe the third one. The third one is what the governing authority classify as a celebrity. Then you can carry a gun legally. You could apply for a permit. What's the penalty? New York criminal possession of a firearm is now a felony. This is from 2013, but it is a felony offense. So more has to come out from this. If you are in illegal possession of a firearm, that is a felony. So somebody just on the street illegally having it, it's a felony. But the act of using it to threaten to stick up is not. It doesn't seem to make sense. Well, it depends on what your angle is. It could make sense if you have a goal of implementing a certain philosophy throughout the United States, and one that appears to me as infiltrating the country in order to me create chaos and civil unrest. We talked about the woke prosecutors. We talked about the woke prosecutors all over the country. Larry Krasner announced he won't prosecute people arrested for violence that rocked the city a while back. He's dropped charges on more than 60% of shooting cases. This is according to the California Globe. Kim Gardner, St. Louis, dismissed all charges against 36 people arrested for violence, arson, and looting. Mike Schmidt, Portland, refuses to prosecute the rioters who have burned and looted his city for over 100 nights. Kim Fox refuses to prosecute rioters. Chesa Boudin, San Francisco, we know that. He's got the recall, but he's the woke of the woke. We know what happened in Waukesha with Milwaukee and allowing that person to get out on very low bail. Woke DAs again, all over the country, creating chaos. I'm going to end with this. I had no idea the power of district attorneys. How many people do you think walking around know who their district attorney is? And not just who yours is, who are the district attorneys from the neighboring areas? Because when you look at certain places, the crime spills out from different counties. You look at Illinois, from Cook County to other counties. You look at Wisconsin, from Milwaukee to Waukesha and to other counties. The district attorney decides whether to charge a person with a criminal offense. It doesn't matter what the law says and what the charge will be. There's no limitation on that power. The judge has a little bit if they bring charges and they're in front of a judge, but if they don't bring charges, there's no recourse. Help me out if you know civics here at the district attorney level. This is the judicial branch at a more localized level. I don't think there's any recourse for people after they vote them in. The power is immense. So if you wanted to infiltrate our country, if you had bad intent, and this is a level that a lot of people don't know or pay attention to, district attorney. All you'd have to do, and I'm not going to name any names here, all you have to do is get money if you're rich, pipe some money in. It really doesn't take that much money to get your name out there, advertised for people who are going to do this. If you want chaos, they get voted, and you sit back and you watch. And you watch your philosophy, and you watch America crumble. As in New York, the same city that's doing all this, you think it's a joke when they take down the statue of Thomas Jefferson and they enact, or they erect, I should say, statues of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. You think that's normal? You don't think that represents some type of cultish behavior? The same people who talk about gun control say it's only a misdemeanor if you use a gun in a process of a stick-up. The only time you see stuff like, a country's founding father statue removed from its biggest city, and you erect statues of people that have no business having statues, and nothing against them personally, but objectively, that George Floyd and Breonna Taylor have zero business having statues up. It represents that you've fallen. So we've got to educate. I have to educate myself. I had no idea. I guess I knew because I watched Law and Order back in the day, but it just never registered the power that district attorneys have. It never fully registered with me. Insane. Very easy way to corrupt things. Much easier than president. We've got to pay attention. And if you're in a state like Wisconsin, or I don't know, if you're in a red overall state, something's going to break. We can't let this type of stuff infiltrate and until something happens. I think it will all shake out evenly. I think it will all work out in the end, whether that's 50 years down the road or 100, I don't know. But until then, if you don't agree with this, you got to get the hell out of there. Let me know what you think. Take care.